What up YouTube, Spike Robot here with another video. This time it's going to be another short story, and it's called Andrew's Birthday, a Team Indestructible short story. This is not going to be on the same level as some of my other ones. My other ones were pretty long. This is probably going to be a lot shorter than this one, but I decided to do it on a less scale, mainly because, well, there's no sense in like extending it to be as long as the other ones. So anyway, let's begin. This is the story of Andrew Gates' 27th birthday and what happened on it. Why this one? Well, it is the one he never forgot. It started, well, in the morning. Andrew was sleeping and his alarm on his phone went off. He then groggily went over and pressed a button to make it stop ringing. He then walked down the stairs of his house. When he got there, he noticed a familiar smell. He said, "I smell pancakes." He looked into the kitchen and saw that his girlfriend, Annie Kissy, was using a frying pan and had a bunch of pancakes on plates for him. "I figured since it was your birthday that I'd make you your favorite breakfast," said Annie. "Thanks," said Andrew. Shell the Hedgehog was in the room as well, and he said, "Have a Gatorade. You've earned it." He then put a Gatorade near Andrew. "Well, I guess flattering does wake me up a little bit," said Andrew. He proceeded to eat his breakfast, but the day was not just about pleasure. The three of them and two other people who lived with them had to go to work that day. They did, after all, work for the military. Thankfully, the mission they did was a pretty simple one. At the base, the group's superior, General Davidson, briefed them on the mission. He said, "I've got a quick mission for you guys to do, but first, watch the video that I sent you. But be warned, let's first watch the video I was sent. But be warned, it was pretty scary." He then hit the play button on the computer. It was linked to a big screen so everyone could see it. The video played and it was shot at a grocery store. It showed a masked terrorist and a hostage, and it was filmed directly at both. The terrorist said, "I'm at the store called Green Acres. I'm looking for the individual who has blown our cover that works in this store. I am aware that he has the computer chip that has evidence. I will give you 2 hours to give us that information. If you do not give it within the time limit, I will execute a hostage every half hour. You have 2 hours to get that information, starting now. Happy hunting." The video then stopped. A few moments of silence, and one of the other two people, Daniel Gross, said, "So our mission is to give him that information?" "Hell no," shouted Davidson. "We do not negotiate with terrorists. We shoot the fuck out of them." "What do we do if we actually run into the employee with the computer chip?" asked Andrew. "Tell him to give him the computer chip to you, and if he is working for them, bring him into custody. If not, tell him we need the intel to put them away. But that is merely a secondary objective," said Davidson. The other one of the two people, Jake Steinfeld, said, "All right, people, put your hands in." They did just that, and everyone shouted, "Team Indestructible is go!" The team drove a military jeep toward the Green Acres store, and when they got there, they loaded their weapons. Andrew noticed Jake had a pistol with a Cobra on it. He then said, "You got a new pistol." "You got a new pistol?" Yeah, said Jake. That's a pretty fucking cool one, said Andrew. Jake smiled. Do we have a strategy? Asked Shadow. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe we use the intercom in the store and say something to get the terrorists' attention, said Jake. You know, that actually doesn't sound like a bad idea, said Daniel. What do we say, though? Asked Andrew. Tell them we have the information and then attack them, said Annie. Ooh, a fucking dirty trick. I like it, said Jake. Now that we know what to do, let's rip these goddamn guys to shreds, shouted Andrew. They entered the store and headed to the intercom system. Annie took the microphone and said, "This is a message to the bastards who are taking control of this store. We know who the person that blew your cover is." The terrorists stopped in their tracks. "Who is it?" asked the one who was on the video. He gestured his fellow terrorists to walk over to where Team Indestructible was. When they got there, Annie pointed her gun at him and said, "It's this fucking bullet." She then shot one of them in the head. Blood sprayed from where he was shot. When the terrorists started firing, the team jumped over to a nearby counter and fired their guns at the terrorists behind them. They ran into certain aisles. Andrew hid in a refrigerator. Oh wait, no. Andrew hid behind a refrigerator that had nothing but drinks on it. He then noticed a terrorist coming near him. He then noticed there were some beer cans on the left of him. Andrew opened the can and took a drink out of one of them, and then threw it toward the area where the terrorist was walking. The terrorist fired his gun toward the beer can. Jay came up from behind them and fired his pistol multiple times at the terrorist. Blood splashed from the back of the terrorist. Andrew then noticed a terrorist coming on the left of him. He then fired his assault rifle at the terrorist. Blood sprayed from where he was shot. Annie was behind the frozen food section of the store. She then noticed a terrorist coming toward the cabinet with goods in it. She then fired her gun. The terrorist collapsed into a glass door, and the glass shattered and the items fell. Blood was still flowing like a river. Shadow shot a few soldiers near the checkout counter before shouting, "Die, motherfucker!" Daniel was about to shoot one of the terrorists, but the terrorist held a woman hostage. "You fired that gun and you're dead," said the terrorist. "All right, I give up," said Daniel. He then put his hand up like he was going to lower his pistol. A few seconds later, and he immediately and quickly put his hands together and fired the gun toward the terrorist's head. Daniel grabbed the woman's hand and said, Let's get you to safety." Jake was about to take another terrorist out, but the terrorist threw a knife at his shoulder. Jake was still able to shoot the terrorist until he collapsed. Blood oozed out of both men. Jake slowly pulled the knife from where he was stabbed and winced in pain. "Why does this shit always happen to me?" he asked. Andrew noticed a terrorist taking a man hostage. He was behind them. He took out a small blade and threw it at a non-lethal body part of the terrorist, and then fired a secondary pistol at the terrorist multiple times. Blood sprayed like a sprinkler. The man who was taken hostage also collapsed, though he was still alive. But something fell out of his hand. It was the computer chip. "You're not working for them, are you?" asked Andrew. No, said the man. I need to take that chip, said Andrew. It will be very helpful in stopping the organization that attacked your store. Do you understand? Yes, said the man. Andrew then picked it up, and the team exited the store. Everything in the store was seemingly back to normal. When they got back to the base, General Davidson said, "Did you stop the terrorists?" "Hell yeah," said Andrew. "Yeah, but one of those bastards stabbed Jake, and he's still trying to recover," said Annie. "Oh, I almost forgot. I have the chip," said Andrew. He then gave it to Davidson. Davidson put the chip into his laptop and then clicked on the file. A bunch of stuff came up on the computer. "Wow, that's a lot of data," said Davidson. "That's plenty of intel on them." He then looked through some of it and said, "Fuck, the CEO of the Green Acres brand has ties to them. The company was about to do an investigation on him, but he planned on giving the evidence to one of the employees that worked at one of the stores. So that's why the employee had the chip," said Andrew. "How the hell did they know about it?" asked Shadow. "Either he told them that he was in trouble, or they decided to attack the store. Or they were trying to help him, said Davidson. "What will happen to the store now?" asked Shadow. "I don't really know, but for now, I think you've earned a break from all this," said Davidson. "You're letting us go early?" asked Andrew. "Yeah, you're lucky I'm this fair," said Davidson. The team went to Skater City to celebrate Andrew's birthday. When they got there, Andrew, Annie, Shadow, and Daniel all signed up for skating. When Jake was offered to skate with him, he said, "No, I don't feel like it." "Why not?" asked Daniel. "I'm still a little sore from the knife wound," said Jake. "I'm not in the best condition to skate." "That's fine," said Annie. Each of them put on their skating shoes and carefully entered the skating ring. They naturally had good balance, and the DJ played songs from the Crystal Method. They skated with some really good moves and speed. The only one who didn't wear shoes was Shadow. His shoes were already made for skating. Shadow can skate without shoes?" asked Andrew. "Very impressive." "No shit," said Daniel. They skated for a while and had some real fun. What did Jake do while they skated? Well, he played one of the arcade games there. It was Time Crisis 4. He had a kid as a 2-player. After they got done skating, they headed over to the arcade. Andrew noticed they had Galaga. "I'm fucking playing that," he said. "I love that game." He inserted a coin. He had a ton of fun playing the game, shooting down colored aliens. Shadow and Annie cheered him on while he played. When he got up to stage 7 before losing all his lives. "Damn it," he said when he lost. "Sorry," said Annie. "Whatever, I'm glad I got to play the game," said Andrew. Skater City provided a special cake for Andrew. It had the candles with the numbers 27 on it. It was chocolate on chocolate. After singing happy birthday to him, he blew out the candles and everyone clapped. He then ate the cake, and so did everyone else. That night, Andrew went into the bedroom and to notice that Annie with another brunette woman next to her. "I want you to meet my friend Sarah," said Annie. "Oh, hey, Sarah," said Andrew. "Hey, Andrew," said Sarah seductively. "Did you have fun at Skater City?" asked Annie in a similar tone. "Yeah, probably too much fun," said Andrew. Well, we're about to have even more fun, said Annie. I hope you're ready for the ride of your life, said Sarah. I want you to start undressing for us, said Annie. Andrew opened his mouth but didn't know what to say, so he just did it for them. I knew you wanted to fuck both of us, said Annie. 2 is better than 1, but 3 is better than 2, said Sarah. Can't argue with that, said Andrew. He then started making out with Annie. When they did that, Annie undressed until she was naked. After a little bit, he said, "Stop!" "What, you do not want to do it anymore?" asked Annie. "No, I just want to give Sarah a turn," said Andrew. He then went over to Sarah and made out with her. She undressed like Annie. Each of them took turns in getting orgasms. But it was a night of sexual fun. A humongous amount of spunk was let out. Now Andrew could say that he had a threesome. It was truly the best birthday ever. Right now. The end. This story was a bit more low-key, but I hope you still enjoyed it. I'm Spike Robot. Thank you all for watching, and if you like this video, you could subscribe to my channel, and take it easy. Honor the freedom, Jingos.